welcome to Man That's Cooking. In this video, we're going to show you how to make pellet smoked corned beef and cabbage. Yeah, now you can use your pellet smoker for St. Patty's Day. Alright, first thing we're going to do here is wash off the corned beef, and then we're going to submerge the corned beef overnight in water, and that's going to draw out a lot of the salt. Now that's an optional step, it's up to you, but you definitely want to wash off the corned beef. And next, what we're going to do is grind up the seasoning pack that comes with the corned beef. That's got some coriander seeds, some mustard seed, bay leaf. Okay, it's been 24 hours, beef has been soaking, and so we're going to dry it off using fancy penguin paper towels. So now we're going to take a look at the corned beef and see if we can find any excessive silver skin. And this piece is kind of funky. It looks like it's probably a point and a flat where they join. And it's got a lot of fat, you see there. But it's not hard fat, it's soft, and it's going to render down. And there's very little silver skin on this piece, so we're not going to do any trimming. But if you have a lot of silver skin, just use a knife and cut it away. Alright, the next step is we're going to apply seasoning. So we're using onion powder, garlic powder, we've got some coarse black pepper, and we've got the seasoning packet that was ground up. We're going to apply that. And finally, we're going to apply dried thyme. So what you want to do is apply to both sides, and then you're going to wrap it tight in cellophane, and we're going to put it in the refrigerator overnight. So if you've been counting, this is a 2-day process. You've got the 1 day for soaking and the second day for the seasoning. It's the next day, so let's get the smoker going. We're using cherry pellets, and we're going to run this smoker at 275 degrees Fahrenheit. And while the smoker's coming up to temp, we're going to unwrap the corned beef. And this is optional, but we're just going to apply more seasoning, because, you know, why not? Alright, we're placing the corned beef on the smoker, fat side up, and you can expect anywhere from 4 to 6 hours of a cook time. Now look at that, we're only a couple hours in, starting to take a nice color, and it's looking good. Okay, we're going to prep the cabbage, and what we're going to do is dice up 1 whole yellow onion. And next we're going to dice up a jalapeno pepper, and we're going to take the seeds out. We don't want this to be extra hot. You can leave the seeds in if you like, and you can also touch your eyeballs with your fingers after chopping them up if you like. That's all up to you. Let's prep the cabbage. You want to peel off the outer leaves, and then you want to use a chef's knife, and very carefully you want to try to remove the center core. So the objective here is to create a big enough hole in the core or the cavity of this cabbage, and we're going to stuff that with the onions, jalapeños, and bacon bits. So just slowly chip away at this. Make sure the blade is facing away from you, and try not to get your fingers near it, like man here. Somehow he manages to keep his fingers intact. And this is pretty much what you want to achieve right here. Guess what time it is? Oh yeah, it's bacon time. Let's pause for a moment of silence. Ah, bacon. We have 1 pound of thick cut bacon. We've chopped it up into bacon bits, and we're going to fry it up. This is going to produce a lot of grease, and we're going to remove some of that grease. Not all of it, but try to get some of it out. And when your bacon's got its own foam party going on, that means it's done. So we're going to use a slotted spoon, and we're going to try and get all the grease out as much as we can. Next, we're going to draw out a lot of the grease. We're going to leave a small amount, and we're going to use that to fry up the onions and the jalapeños. So while we're cooking, we're going to add a little bit of seasoning. We've got Killer Hog's AP rub. You can use whatever seasoning you like. And when your onions start to get just a little bit translucent, go ahead and remove them from the skillet. Next, what Man's going to do here is make a little foil ring, and that's going to hold the cabbage up. Kind of neat, huh? Next, we're going to apply some barbecue rub. You can use whatever barbecue rub you like. And we're going to drop in some butter, followed by the onions and bacon. And once you stuff the cabbage all the way full, top it off with some more butter, and then throw in the bacon and the onions into the foil pan. Oh, look at the color in that corned beef. Alright, we're going to make some space here, and we're going to put the cabbage on, and we're going to cook that for 2 hours. So it's time to take a temperature reading, and we're above 150, so we're not really stalling, but the meat is not tender. So in order to fix that, we're going to wrap it up in butcher paper. Now if you don't have this, you can order it on the Amazons, or you can use foil. But what this does is it's going to help make the corned beef tender. And the difference between using paper versus foil, well, the paper breathes a little bit and the foil does not. So with the paper, you're going to get your bark, or your dry rub is going to have a nicer texture than if you used foil, which is going to steam away a lot of that texture. So you want to make sure that you fold the paper inward, and we're going to show you one more time from overhead. So you roll it, fold the paper inward, and roll it again, and repeat the process. And if it's a really windy day like it was here, just put a knife on the paper, keep it from flying away. And once you get it wrapped up, go ahead and put it back on the smoker. So we're going to do the same thing with the cabbage, but we're going to use tin foil because we want to steam the cabbage and make it tender. So we've had this cabbage smoking for 2 hours, and you could go longer. You can go 3 hours, you can go 4 hours. But when you wrap it up in foil, it's not going to take on any more smoke, and the tenderizing process will begin. When you get the cabbage wrapped up in foil, go ahead and return it to the smoker for at least 1 hour. You can go up to 2 hours if you like. Now you want to target 185 degrees Fahrenheit for your doneness of the corned beef. And you want to take a reading in several different points. And when those points reach that temperature, we're going to take it off and put it in a cooler for an hour. That's going to let the meat rest and the juices to settle down, and it'll give you a nice finished product. So after an hour, take the cabbage off, and we're going to open up the corned beef. Now you want to make sure that you cut the beef against the grain. So you see the way the grain is there? And we're going to slice against it like this. Oh, take a look at that. You can see the fat cap on there. You can see that it's super juicy, loaded with flavor, and it's delicious. Let me tell you, smoked corned beef is amazing. It's not salty because we soaked it overnight, and it's got a good flavor from the dry rub that we added. And it's juicy and tender. Okay, let's open up the cabbage. Wow, take a look at that. Look at all that bacon in there. Oh yeah. Let's go ahead and shred it up. If you feel like you're the Wolverine character, get yourself some of these bear claws. They come in handy for shredding things, just like cabbage. Or you could use a couple forks. That's boring. Food porn flyover. Man, Does that look good or what? See how juicy that is? Oh, look at this. Look at the bacon bits in there. You can see the jalapeños. You can see the onions. Man, this is a delicious St. Patty's Day meal. So hey, we hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, click like, click subscribe. Give us some feedback. Let us know in the comments section of this video how we're doing. Check out our website, manthat'scooking.com. Check us out on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram.